welcome to the show, Peter. It's great to have you on.
Here. Thanks for having me.
All right, Peter. Hey, it's great to see you there. Are you in Puerto Rico right now? Is that where you're joining us from?
I am. And, the air conditioner is broken here in my studio. So if I start to sweat a little bit, it's not because I have the coronavirus. There's nobody here to fix it because it's not, I guess they don't consider air conditioner repairmen essential. So we don't.
Right. So you put out a lot of great podcasts recently. I'm a listener. I'm a fan of your work as well, which is one reason why I wanted to have you on. Can you explain to people why the coronavirus is not really the cause of all this economic implosion that we're seeing? It's just the initiator of it. But this was going to happen one way or another. Can you give us an overview of that, please?
Sure. Well, first of all, I don't want to dismiss the coronavirus as being a problem. It's clearly a problem, and even a healthy economy would have to deal with it. Now, you can debate whether or not the response is appropriate, whether or not we're going over the top as far as the self-isolation and the lockdowns and all that stuff. I'm not even talking about that. What I want to talk about is what the government is doing as far as the bailouts and the stimulus, the trillions and trillions of dollars that is being thrown at the problem and that is being created out of thin air by the Federal Reserve, which is, buying up everything and flooding the economy with newly created money. This is going to do far more damage than the coronavirus to the economy. I mean, the government's cure is far worse than this disease. But what people are missing is that the coronavirus, at best, is a pin that pricked a bubble that was looking for a pin anyway. It would have found one. If it wasn't the coronavirus, it would have been something else. In fact, I think the air already started to seep out of that bubble. That was why the Fed had started cutting rates last year. That's why the Fed had quietly gone back to quantitative easing without admitting that it was doing it, was because the air was leaking out. But this is another financial crisis. When you hear people talk about it's not a financial crisis, of course it's a financial crisis. 2008 was a financial crisis, but it didn't start as a financial crisis. It was a real estate crisis. It was a decline in real estate prices. But the problem was the people who bought real estate borrowed money. And when the real estate went down, they didn't repay their loans. And that's what made it a financial crisis. Well, the coronavirus may be a health crisis, but when businesses are shut down and they have no revenues and they have a lot of debt, they can't pay their bills. So that's why it's another financial crisis. And the problem is we were a highly leveraged economy. Everybody had borrowed money. Corporations had borrowed money. State and local governments had borrowed money. The federal government, individuals with record student loans, credit card debt, auto debt. Nobody had saved anything for a rainy day. Well, take a look outside. It's not only raining, it is pouring, and we got nothing. And we think, Peter, we could just print money.
Well, yeah, that's my question. How far is the Fed going to take this? I mean, they've already printed trillions of dollars in money. They're going to own a significant portion of our economy. They're buying corporate bonds. They're buying real estate loans. I mean, they're going to be buying just stocks, I guess. And where does this end, if ever? They're just going to try to reinflate this to the point of oblivion, or where does it end?
Well, yeah. Look, they have a false sense of complacency because they believe that this strategy worked when they did it after the '08 crisis. Now, it only appears to have worked because they were able to inflate a bigger bubble than the one that popped. But it won't happen this time. There's no way they're going to reflate the bubble. And the problem is that what they're doing now is on an order of magnitude greater than what they did in '08. I mean, they're not just bailing out banks and, the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie. They're bailing out many different industries simultaneously, and state and local governments and the federal government and individuals. In fact, now they are injecting the inflation directly into the economy by sending out all these checks to individuals, to small business owners. So this is, QE for the people, but it's going to backfire in an even bigger way because instead of pushing up stock prices, it's going to push up consumer prices. And everybody should be asking this question, and they're not. Who is going to pay for all of this? We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars to bail out everybody. And now they want to spend trillions more on infrastructure. Where is the money coming from? Who is going to pay for it? Now, people think, oh, the Fed is just going to print it. Well, if the Fed could just print money and it cost us nothing, then why did we wait for the coronavirus? Why haven't we been doing this all along? I mean, why didn't we just have everything we wanted, just getting it from the Fed? Because people are going to find out that the most expensive way to pay for government is to print the money. Because we have to pay for government. It's not free. And either the government takes our money or the government takes our purchasing power. And that's what they're doing now. By printing money and spending it into circulation, they are destroying the value of the money that's already out there. So the money that people have saved in their retirement.
Yeah, I'm sorry, a little bit of a lag time between us, but doesn't this also bring up the question, why are we ever paying taxes to the federal government if they can just create all this money anyway and claim that there's no cost to it? Why are we sending checks to D.C. every April?
Well, that's my point, because you have to pay for government. And if we don't pay for it with taxation, we pay through it through inflation. The government either takes our money or they take our purchasing power. But the most expensive way to pay for government is the way they're doing it now, through inflation. And so every American who has savings, who has money in a retirement account, or even earns wages, is going to be stuck with the bill for the bailouts and the stimulus, because everybody's savings and income is going to lose value. The cost of living is going to go way up, right? It's massive inflation. It might even be hyperinflation. I mean, sure, people could say, but airline tickets are going down. Okay, because nobody's flying. What difference does it make what it costs to fly in an airplane if you're not flying? Believe me, if people wanted to fly, the price would go back up. But
welcome to the show, Peter. It's great to have you on.
But you know, what I've been predicting hasn't even really happened yet in its entirety. I mean, a lot of the things I've been forecasting have taken place. The key is not the coronavirus. We were unprepared for anything. You know, something is bound to go wrong, right? Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will. But the reason that this country is so ill prepared for what's happening is because of all the debt. We had a debt bubble. And why did we have a debt bubble? Because the Federal Reserve refused to allow the economy to restructure every time it contracted. And so they levered us all up. They kept interest rates artificially low, and they kept businesses that should have failed in business, and they took on more debt because they weren't really viable enterprises. But instead of letting the free market restructure the economy so that we can have a recovery built on a solid foundation, we built a bubble on the foundation of debt. And that foundation has crashed. This house of cards that the Fed built instead of a viable economy is collapsing around it. And all it can do is try to blow more air into a deflating bubble. It's not going to work, right? This time, they're not going to be able to bail us out with a bigger bubble than the one that just popped. So this is the end game. All the years of kicking the can down the road, right? We finally caught up to the can, and there's no more road. And this can is too big. If we kick it, we break our foot. So this is the end game. And unfortunately, I used to think that hyperinflation was kind of a worst case scenario that I hoped we would avoid. Now I think it's the most likely scenario. I mean, it's not a done deal. I mean, it's still possible to avoid it, but I think the odds of that are very, very slim at this point, given where we are. I mean, everybody has pretty much drunk the Kool-Aid of socialism. You know, it's ironic. Bernie Sanders has dropped out of the race, probably because he figured there's no point in becoming president, because whoever wins, socialism is what we got.
Right. It's already here. The Fed has given us socialism. The response to the coronavirus has given us financial socialism. But you're right. I mean, we see this paycheck protection bailout program that's paying people to sit at home and collect essentially $15 an hour for sitting at home, and for companies to keep those people on the payroll, when companies should be rationally adapting or reducing their size in order to protect the other jobs in the same company. How do you survive if you can't adapt as a company and reduce your payroll, you know, to adapt to the times that are happening? I mean, aren't these bailouts in essence going to cripple the recovery?
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's going to be no recovery. Look, Ben Bernanke actually got something right, but not really. But when he was asked if this was going to be a depression, he said no, because he said the Great Depression was caused by a financial crisis and then policy errors by the government. Well, we've actually had a bigger financial crisis, and we're making even worse policy errors this time than we did then. Look, everything the government is doing is going to delay the recovery, and it's going to deepen the depression that we're entered into, because we need the free market to function, right? And when the free market functions, over-leveraged businesses fail, right? Businesses that no longer have adequate demand go out of business, and they free up their resources. They free up labor, which is a resource, to do something else. But what the government wants to do is maintain the status quo. They want to artificially keep businesses afloat that would sink in a free market. And so they have to redirect resources from where the market wants them to be to where the government wants to trap them. And therefore, all these businesses that are being bailed out today are going to need constant bailouts in the future. The people who are being subsidized not to work are going to have to be subsidized indefinitely, because the businesses that need to employ them are not going to be created, because we're redirecting capital to maintaining the businesses that should be failing. I mean, it's like, what if when they invented the automobile, the government decided that we had to keep all the buggy whip manufacturers in business, right? Oh, we can't let these companies fail because their workers would lose their jobs. Well, we'd be subsidizing them to this day, because who needs the buggy whips, right? But we're going to keep these businesses going. I mean, think about all of the restaurants that should be failing. And it's not just because of coronavirus. People are not going to have jobs. They're not going to be able to go out to restaurants. A lot of restaurants fail anyway. Now we're going to keep them all in business. I mean, a lot of people, even when we have a cure for the coronavirus, maybe, they're not going to be going out to eat as often. I mean, we have too many restaurants. We have too many stores. There's a lot of stores that were just barely hanging on. You know, they had all this debt. They were staying in business. The government kept crippling them with increasing the minimum wage. These businesses were going to fail anyway. What, now we're going to keep them in business? Now we're going to subsidize them by creating money? And you have a lot of big businesses that are over leveraged. You know, what we don't have enough in this country is manufacturing. We don't have enough production. We need resources to be reallocated there. We have too many service sector businesses that are being kept afloat by debt. And now the government wants to divert more resources into maintaining the bloated section of our economy and preventing an actual recovery from taking place.
Yeah, we've reached that point of reckoning. I like how you described it. We've kicked the can so far down the road. Now we've caught up to the can and we've run out of road. You can't keep reinflating it. We only have a little over a minute left, Peter, but what do you think the world is going to look like in the next year? I mean, in America, are people going to be paying $10 for a loaf of bread in a year? Is that possible? Or what do you think the economy is going to look like just a year from now?
It's hard to know the exact timetable, but I do think that prices are going to go way up. And I think not only are people going to be paying a lot more money for bread, but they're going to be waiting in long lines to get it. Because I think one of the things the government's going to do is impose price controls. I think they're going to say that, hey, people are price gouging. We're going to limit the ability to raise prices, which is going to create shortages, which means we're going to have to find another way to ration out goods. If we can't let the market do it through a price mechanism, then people are going to have to queue up and wait in long lines. Look, things are going to change dramatically in this country. I think we're headed for a collapse of the dollar. I think the dollar is going to lose its status as the reserve currency. I believe the world is going to go back to gold as the reserve, which is what the dollar replaced. It didn't replace the pound. It replaced gold. Gold historically has served as the monetary anchor for the global financial system. I think we're going back to gold. I think when that happens, the American standard of living is going to implode, because we've been living beyond our means because the rest of the world has been enabling that by living beneath its means. But I do think that you're going to see a real economic boom outside of the United States when they no longer have to support the American consumer and the American government.
Welcome to the show, Peter. It's great to have you on.
But you know what?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Call. Please type your name in the chat room. We'll try to read as many of them as we can. Type where you're chatting in from. And again, welcome to the Power Call for today. Let's see, who do we have on the call today? We've got a house full. Jennifer Sneed from Florida. We'll see Karen Gillian from Raleigh, North Carolina. Joel Springer from New York. See James Marshall from
Brown.
Let's see Adam
Good
Cooper.
morning,
Houston,
Texas. Let's see.
Yes,
Columbia, South Carolina. You're
Nashville,
going too
Sunshine
fast. Sunshine
Reggae.
Jerry
Reggae.
Brown,
Georgia,
Ray
Jersey,
Muhammad.
Ray
Michigan,
Muhammad. Yes,
Gerald
New
Durso.
Jersey.
Las
And
Vegas,
let's see.
LB, good morning.
Tuskegee is in
Maria
the house.
Johnson, New
Tuskegee,
York.
Chicago. Yes,
in the building.
Connecticut, New
Justice Peter
York,
from New
North
York.
Carolina.
Dawood
Dana
Hassan, good
James
morning.
from
Philadelphia,
Little
Kenya.
Kim
Rock,
Gardner,
Arkansas,
Philadelphia.
Maryland,
Maryland, Texas.
Peace. People from
Orlando.
everywhere.
Good morning.
Yes,
Orlando.
Melbourne, Texas.
All
Antioch,
right.
Tennessee.
Let's
Antioch,
go.
Very good. Well,
Tennessee,
welcome
Mahone, good
everybody. Thank you
morning.
the
guys for jumping in
Bahamas.
here.
Samantha from the Bahamas.
Yeah, and welcome everybody to the Power Call. Glad you were able to join us today. And before we get started, we want to read a brief overview of what Carrot Bars is all about. So I'm going to read that this morning. Carrot Bars International is an e-commerce company. We've made available a simple wealth building system for everyone on the planet who is 18 years or over, with 3 optional ways to participate. Option 1, we all start here. We complete the free registration for our gold savings account and start acquiring Carrot Bars Gold in small increments. Carrot Bars International has made it easy by making available a feature called Auto Exchange. At Wealth Builders, we call this Pay Yourself First. You simply set up your account to automatically exchange your paper currency to Carrot Bars Gold weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Simply set it and forget it and go back and increase it. Activating this feature allows you to automatically pay yourself first with physical gold. There are no fees of any kind, and the account is completely free and takes less than 5 minutes to register. Every time you acquire Carrot Bars Gold, you are building your family's wealth. Option 2, as an independent affiliate, when you save gold for yourself and share with others how to do the same, you position yourself to be compensated monthly through our unilevel compensation plan. You're virtually in business for yourself in over 140 countries. Option 3, maximize your earning potential. You may choose one of several business packages which position you to generate cash flow monthly and weekly through our dual system compensation plan. These packages are income producing assets. Now, some people have asked, why Carrot Bars? A Carrot Bars Gold Savings Account gives you protection against future financial crisis and rapid inflation. It protects your hard-earned paper currency with physical gold. Carrot Bars International has the only system in the world where you can get free gold. Gold is a store of wealth and value, as an appreciating asset. There are 3 major benefits of owning a Carrot Bars Gold Savings Account. Number 1, you can start saving physical gold in small increments. Number 2, Carrot Bars International puts you in position to build a global business from the comfort of your home. And number 3, Carrot Bars gives you significant tax advantages of owning a home-based business. Now, the Wealth Builders Worldwide mission, that's our team here that hosts this call 6 days a week, is to provide individuals worldwide the tools required to enhance their lives, achieve their dreams, and build massive wealth. We are salespeople. We are a sales team, but we're not selling products, goods, or services. We sell people on the infinite possibilities of their lives and the power of their dreams. We sell people on never giving up. We believe this is a noble cause. So if you're on this call for the first time, get back with the person that invited you to the call. Let them know that you are ready to open your Carrot Bars Gold Savings account right now. And so I just want to first, again, thank you all for joining the Power Call today and welcome you to another extraordinary edition of the Power Call. We do this 6 days a week. We share with people the importance of saving gold. We get your questions answered. We celebrate the top achievers within our organization. So it's inspiration, motivation, and financial education. My name is Mike Dalco. I was a 15-year mortgage banker, and most recently with Wells Fargo. And I saw the Carrot Bars opportunity, and literally, guys, it changed my life. Changed my life forever. And my wife, I hear some background noise there. I'm not sure where it's coming from. My wife spent 20 years as a corporate trainer. And today, both of us are full-time, retired from corporate America, and we are full-time Carrot Bars affiliates, and we are loving it. So today on the pre-call, I was just listening I made a couple of notes so I could stay on track. The first one that I made was really kind of self-serving. It was that I'm so thankful that I found Carrot Bars International, or rather it found me. Nate Hines gave me a call that fateful day in November of 2013, and I was like so many other people in the world. I had those 2 famous words, I'm good, and I was good. I had a good job, I thought, and I thought I was doing okay. But man, was I so not good. right? I did not know what I did not know. And I had had a situation where I made a lot of money before in the mortgage business. Through the years of 2003 to 2008, I was just making money hand over fist. But what I was not doing was learning about what money was supposed to do and how to handle money. I just had cash flow, right? So I was rich, but I was not wealthy. I had money, but I didn't have a system. I had money coming in, but it was going out as fast as it was coming in. And I remember my kids, we had bought this big old house. My kids would come over and we'd hang out and play ping pong all day and pool and, 7-bedroom, 8.5 baths and 10,000 square foot home. It was just living like millionaires, but I wasn't a millionaire, right? And today I live a wealthy lifestyle, but I'm living in the first home I ever purchased. I don't care that much about living in $1 million home because I'm debt free, right? And during this economic collapse, my family doesn't feel it at all. We're not feeling it. We're living life like it's a boom. So while the rest of the world is standing in bread lines, like the pre-call was saying, the only thing that's different for us is we're honoring the government's request for social distancing, but financially, it's not an issue. And so in the pre-call today, Peter Schiff, who is one of my favorite mentors financially, he started talking about something which I've been screaming at the TV about. And I'm wondering why no one was talking about this. As soon as this pandemic happened, the government started throwing money at companies and bailing out companies. And I was saying on this show, I was like, why do these companies not have any reserves? Has anybody thought of that besides me? Type a Y in the chat room. Like, why are they bailing out companies already? You mean y'all are out of money in 2 months? Like, how is this possible? Now, they're arguing about whether to send the people checks, a one-time $1,200 check, but they're propping up these big companies, airlines. Man, these airlines literally shrank our first-class chairs. The chairs got smaller. The aisles got closer together. They give you peanuts. They don't feed you on the flights. Like, what is going on? Giving you paper cups in first class. What in the world is happening? Like, why don't they have more money? 2 months into this health crisis, and they're screaming and crying, please prop us up and bail us out. How is that possible? That was the first thing that really fired me up. Over-leveraged businesses. And here's the thing that's really amazing. These people are living on credit. So it's financial socialism. They're making this massive political argument. Don't elect Bernie Sanders, he's a socialist. Donald Trump's a socialist. All the senators are socialists. All the House of Representatives, they're all socialists when it serves their purpose, when it's paying the businesses that they're invested in. Oh, all of a sudden, they find money from everywhere. They were arguing about whether we should have health care. It's too expensive. Well, they just printed $10 trillion or created it in the computer. So that's why I'm an equal opportunity basher. I bash Democrats, Republicans, and independents. They're socialists when it serves their purpose. What we need to do is stop arguing to put them in charge, and we need to be in charge of our own economy. All this debate over economic challenges, when we're sitting here with the solution, we need to move those savings. People all over the world holding cash. We need to move those savings into carrot bars and simply get gold. I have a guest that I want to bring on today is my son. So it's a little bit selfish there, but my son, Markel Dalco, my oldest child, had some serious health challenges. And man, he called me the other day and he was just talking to me so passionately about how important carrot bars has been for me and my family and for him and his family. And so I wanted to bring him on today to say a few words about carrot bars and how he feels about it. Mr. Markel Dalco, can you hear me and are you there?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I hear you, first son. What's going on, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Ow, this is Mark Dalco.
Oh, you sound good today. Your voice sounds strong. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right today. How about yourself?
I'm feeling great, son. So tell me a little bit about what you want to share with the people on what Carrot Bars has meant to you and your family, and to me and my extended family as well.
Care bars have been great. It's been so awesome to the family. When you signed me up back in 2014, it was right before I got shot, and I wasn't able to work the business like that because I was hospitalized and in a coma and all of that. But what I didn't know was the business was working itself for me. And that's one of the great things that I push about the business to everybody that I talk to it about. But, of course, I still wasn't taking it serious because I'm real deep into music, and that's what I really wanted to do. So I felt like I had to be real passionate about that. And I was taking a couple of different routes. Um, I started seeing my brothers and stuff try to follow my footsteps because we were doing a lot of illegal stuff to get money. And we ran through a lot of money, but we wasn't never saving anything, or we could never get no further than where we were. And watching you over the years, you've been network marketing and stuff, and we've been seeing the ups and downs of that. So we didn't really know how to take it too serious when you first brought it to us. But once I looked at my account a couple of years later, and I seen I was still doing the same thing, and I seen my business was making money for me, and I wasn't even working it. I had to take a second look at how I was thinking and the steps I needed to do to change my life around. And Carrot Bars was the way. And it's changed my life around, my fiance's life around. We got our whole family over here. We're not really suffering at all throughout this crisis. And we're seeing people scrounging around and trying to figure out their next dollar. And it's just not really hitting. And I'm like, all these people that have been working for all these years ain't got no money saved. You know what I mean? I've been working Carrot Bars for probably like 5 or 6 years now, and I got more gold saved than I even got cash in my pocket. And that's a goal that I don't want to touch. That's a goal that I'm leaving for my kids and their kids. That's the financial, that's the generational wealth that we always talking about. And since we've been in this program, we've just been looking at finances different and how we manage our money and budget our money and what's important on us to put our money towards for our future. We're teaching our kids the same thing, especially while they out of school. While they knock out their little assignments that they're supposed to do on the computer, but mainly it's that time that we able to sit at home with them and be hands on with them and teach them financial literacy. So it's just a couple of things I wanted to touch on. Anybody that know me know I don't really talk too much, but I just wanted to tell them that people right now looking for consistency. And as long as you stay consistent, and people just come up asking me, "You still doing that Carrot Bars thing?" That's all they want to see is that you still doing it, because ain't nothing really consistent right now in the world, and people don't know what's gonna happen with this and what's gonna happen with that. But one thing that's been consistent is what we talk about: saving your money in gold and telling the next person, and that money making you money while you sleep. I haven't even been in my best health over the past couple months. I haven't been able to be productive like I want to. But even those days when I'm not able to get up out of bed like I want to, my business still making money, and I haven't wanted or needed anything for anything. So I'm just so grateful for that, and I just had to share my little testimony, my Carrot Boys testimonial with y'all today on my father's pre-call. I appreciate the time. It's Mark Dalco, the Gold producer. Oh,
son, you messed me up, man. I was doing pretty good. Thank you for sharing with us today, man. That was an awesome testimony, man. Thank you so very, very much for sharing with us today. And yes, folks, that's my oldest child. And I see my youngest son on here too. I'm not going to call him out. He talks more than the older one, but I'm astounded at their ability to articulate this business and share their testimonies. And Markel, we're streaming this thing all over the world on Facebook Live. So hopefully people will grab that. And guys, you haven't heard anything from his testimony yet. I'm gonna have to cut a video with him, maybe do an interview and save it and put it on YouTube and actually play it live. His testimony is outstanding. You talking about a Superman. That's my Superman right there. I love all my kids, but that's the first one. So, you got to kind of give honor to that. That's the first one. So let's jump into this conversation. I want to first of all, do some congratulations before I kick it over to Mr. Best. we have some WBW global directors. And a global director is when you have a business package and you sponsored at least 20 people, then you're awarded the global director from our senior partner, Mr. Ty Best. And so we have, let's see, global directors, Thomas C. Hill from Arlington, Texas, Halima Shamsuddin of North Bergen, New Jersey. Congratulations to our Carrot Bars Gold Directors. I've also got some huge congratulations of people who rank advanced. This person, I probably shouldn't recognize them as a rank advancement because she's always here at this rank, but it was a little bit more special this month because she did jump up a bit, and that's Miss Valerie Smith. She's been at Gold Director for, seems like the last 3-4 years, but she went to Gold Director Elite 3 this month during the most difficult time in the year during a global pandemic. Valerie Smith rank advanced to Gold Director Elite 3. Congratulations, Ms. Valerie Smith. You rock. Also want to celebrate Mr. Jamil Muhammad, Gold Director Elite 2. James Muhammad, Gold Director Elite 2. Mr. Jamil Muhammad, Gold Director Elite 1. Dr. David Hollins, Gold Director Elite, and Rhonda Hollins, Gold Director. You guys, amazing rank advancements during this time of challenge. It just goes to show, hey, when it's dark in Egypt, it's light and go. Let it go too. You know what I want to do is I want to kick this over to the senior partner German that's responsible for Wealth Builders Worldwide coming into existence and this amazing culture and system that we have. Our senior partner, Mr. Ty and Mrs. Valerie Best. Good morning, senior partners and mentors.
Hey, good morning to everyone. Man, what a great call. What a tremendous way to start the week. Team Best, what do we say? Here's Ms. Valerie Best.
Good morning, Mr. Delco.
Good morning.
Hey, great overview. Did good, and a really great story from your sons. I loved it because I loved he said exactly. I love when he said people ask him, "Oh, you still doing that Carrot Bus thing?" That's okay. I just kind of that question when people ask me that, I keep it to myself. I feel like, yeah, I'm still doing it, but what are you still? Are you still doing whatever it is you're doing? Not doing anything? Of course, you can't say that to people because that's too much sass talk. Okay, but it's good because yes, 6+ years later, we're still doing it, and we're still going strong, and we're still talking to everybody and everything that moves. And like you said, then we're not worrying. We are concerned about what's going on in the world, but we're not going, oh my gosh, because we know that when these restaurants and everything open up, because I really love the overview. They talk about a lot of these companies that stay afloat that don't need to stay afloat because and when they open back up, they're going to find that they don't have the same customer base that they did because a lot of people were out of work for so long that the last thing they're going to do is go out to eat. Okay, and they're gonna stand. Who wants to stand in line to buy a $20 loaf of bread? Lord, I just use my bread maker and make my own. That's just me. But so I love the Carrot Bus because not to be arrogant. I want to make sure people understand. I'm serious about empathizing, and when we tell people about this, we're not telling it just so y'all can get rich. Okay, you want to have more wealth than just your dollars. You want to have your health, your wealth, make sure people are safe, and make sure you can continue on. And this is what we've been talking about the 6 years we've been in. And Carrot Bus is older than that. Okay, but we've been in for 6+ years. Okay, and that's what's important. And then, and it's amazing to me how during this, you can get yourself all hyped up watching the news all day long until you're completely terrified. We've experienced that with different family members, and it's like, what? What is wrong? They're watching the news, all this. I get enough news. I turn the computer on, it pops up on AOL. I see about 3 lines. Great. I know what's happening today. Now, let me get down to business about doing my part, me and my husband and the best family doing our part to help bring people to Wealth Builders via Carrot Bars. That's what we're talking about. That's why Carrot Bars was put in place to help people control the economy in their own house. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Tyrone.
And Ms. Valerie, and Ms. Valerie, just one quick thing that you said I think was so powerful. You said, you highlighted when he said some of these companies probably need to go out of business anyway. they are over leveraged. So what a great insight you had there is we're all thinking differently about money now. For us to think that things are just going to snap back and open all and everything's right, we're going to go party because the pandemic is over. I was talking to Willie Brown this morning. We're all thinking differently about money now.
That's right.
We're not thinking the same way. It's not business. It'll never be business as usual, at least not for a while. I mean, guys, those of you that are chatting in the chat room, how many of you are thinking differently since this global health crisis? You're going to handle your money a little bit different. We're not going to be, I mean, we're going to have a good time, but I'm thinking differently already. So great insight on your part.
Thank
Back
you.
to you, Mr. Bass. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Hey, thank you. No problem. Look, thank Miss Valerie Best. She fired up. I had to write down my points because I didn't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. And I don't want to forget something. Number one, I want to first give a shout out and congratulations to Miss Linda Kelly. Miss Linda Kelly is one of those diehard, totally focused, committed people. She's got every single package. Every time Dr. Harold says into something, she got it. She got enough coin that I don't want to tell you, but anyway, she's a millionaire in every single way. It is destined. It is done. I want to congratulate her on getting her multi-gold package yesterday. Thank you. Congratulations to Miss Linda Kelly from Hampton, Virginia. Then I want to thank Mr. Markel Dalco, Mr. Dalco's firstborn, for coming in and sharing his story, man, because believe me, people need to hear your story, folks. We ask you to go out there and go on Facebook Live, make your video. It's not about you. It really isn't. People need to see someone like you, whoever you are, tall, short, black, white, Asian, Latino. They need to see someone like you, young, old, smart, intelligent, articulate, not articulate. They need to see you. Your story is going to move and touch someone. So thank you for coming out and sharing your story, man. I truly appreciate that, number one. Mr. Dalco, of course, you on fire as usual. And Peter Schiff says so many things. I'm going to cover 2 points. I'm going to get off the rabbit hole. Number one, okay, he emphasized, validated one more time why we, Carabas International, has been for 11 years telling people save gold, save gold, save gold. Every financial expert on the planet is telling those who have ears to hear, save gold. It's not no. If you just do that one thing, open up your gold savings account and save cash gold every single chance you get, you win. Another thing, when Peter Schiff talks about letting these companies go out of business, let me tell you something, Mr. I'm one of those people. I have thought about what does a debt-based economy mean. People don't understand. We're not just talking about your mortgage, your car note, your credit card. Almost every single company in this country right now is only in business. Why? Because they're all owned by the banks. And they only can stay in business as long as the banks allow them to stay in business. And when the banks cut off their credit, they're out of business. Average corporation right now got about 30 days of cash flow. And the banks cut their credit off, they couldn't pay the suppliers, they couldn't make payroll, and they'll be gone. And that's why you see things like Bed and Linen and Bed and Bath and all these companies disappear, been in for years. Why are they gone now? Because the bank says enough is enough. And when the banks cut them off, they done.
Hey, okay. Mr. Best, don't leave that point. Don't leave that point yet, because you talk about this all the time, where a networker versus traditional business, those folks are hanging in there looking like they're successful, got this big building, all this inventory in there, and they're living week to week, just like people that are struggling in society. So I just want to just kind of drive that point home. We have the best way.
Oh, to the banks, I'm talking mid-sized companies doing $5-10 million a year, maybe up to $100 million a year. They're only in business primarily, most of them, because the banks allow them to be in business. The banks and the money, the banks make money. And when the banks decide to cut them off, the banks will cut them off at the knees. And they have no control, and they'll be out of business in 30, 60, 90 days. Okay? The banks control everything, folks. I don't care what it looks like. And then here along comes Carabars. Here along, first, let's go network marketing. Why has network marketing been such a viable part of my life? Because I understood one thing, that I can earn $100,000, $200,000 a year with no overhead, no employees, no place to go, and that's freedom. That's freedom. My income is not dependent upon some guy at the bank getting a wild hair across their butt. Okay? And I don't know who that is. I mean, I hate to be that kind of, have that kind of level of paranoia, that kind of awareness, but I am to where a lot of times this stuff is personal. You could have a relationship with a bank or with any kind of institution, and somebody can come in and have a personal thing with you that you don't even understand. Okay? And cut off your cash flow just like that because they do what? Because they cut off your access to credit because most people live in a lifestyle of debt. Then along comes network marketing, so you don't have to. Network marketing is a cash flow business. Carabas is a cash flow business. Carabas have to go out and borrow money to business whack because everything is paid on the barrelhead right there. They run a credit card, run a debit card to get that money. That money's in a bank account in 24 to 48 hours. Okay? Still might need some money for expansion growth, but it's not debt late. I said my wife said, well, we got 2 credit. That's a great value. You don't have a credit card debt if you got the cash ready to pay them off anytime you feel. That's not a debt. A debt you can't fulfill. You need time to fulfill. Every single debt I got in my house right now, I can write a check. I can say, wipe this card and it's gone.
Come on now.
It's gone. Hey, I don't have any debt. I use credit cards. They alerted me about 2 months ago, Mr. Best, you don't have any credit because you don't owe anybody. That means you don't have any, I don't have any credit. I don't have any payment history. You gotta be kidding me. I gotta have some debt so I look legitimate in America. Okay. I said, wow, folks, you don't even, I can't tell you, look, I shouldn't tell you, I'm gonna tell you this a certain way. Please, Mr. give me 1 more minute, I'm done.
Man, take your time, brother.
This lifestyle we have here is incredible because of Carabas International. Thank you one more time, Dr. Harold Seitz. I've shared it with some folks, I haven't shared with everybody. Look, my bank account I've had for 24 years, folks, sent me, my wife, myself, my corporation, sent me 5 letters and said, we no longer want to do business with you. Wait a minute now. My bank account's in good standing for 24 years. They have my merchant agreement, my personal account, my corporate account, my wife's account, and my account, her savings account, everything. Now, of course, because I've learned from Carabas, I don't keep a lot of money in them anyway. That's one of the reasons probably why they wanted to shut them down. Okay? But I'm telling you the fact, they sent me a letter said, no explanation required. We no longer would like to be in business with you, period. It is a corporate decision. That's it. Don't call us. Don't ask why. That's it. Well, of course, me being me, I had to go to the branch manager and ask why. Man, that joker called like he was running the place, and they shut him down like he was nobody. They shut him down like he was, they said, no problem, we can help you, no problem. He gave his private code, man. They issued private code. What's the account number? He gave my account number, folks. Watch this. I'm telling you, God, my witness the truth. He gave my account and said, oh, that's a corporate decision, and we can no longer talk about this anymore. End of story. It was done. If you don't think we're in a war with these institutions, these entrenched institutions, it's wake-up time. He said, I can't talk to you about this anymore. I will tell you, I've never seen this happen ever in my 20 years with the bank, and that's all I can say. And that was it. And you want to hear one last final piece? I went in there with my Carabas MasterCard. I sent tickets negative on sale. I don't want you guys to get paranoid, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I went in my Carabas MasterCard. Put my MasterCard in the machine. And you know what the machine did? It ate my MasterCard. Now, I'm not panicked about it. Thank God. See, thank God I don't live paycheck to paycheck. Thank God my wife and I've learned some things in 30 years about how to create a wedge of defense. It ate my credit card. So this morning, you know why we're wide awake in the car? Because I went down straight to that branch and said, hey, your machine ate my card. I would like to get my card back. You know what they told me? They said, oh, those cards are immediately shredded.
Lies.
If they're not issued by the bank. I said, thank you. That's all I need to know. Ain't no big deal. All I do is call Carabas, give me another card issue. I have it in 7 to 10 days. But what if I needed that money? In fact, can I tell you one more story? Well, I know it's 11:30. We've been talking the whole time. Guys, I got to tell you this. Now, Val, my wife, she's always a pain. She happens to Val. I ain't thinking about that card, man. That's why. We're okay. We get another card in 7 to 10 days. But we had the machine because I wanted to make sure we get my machine back. So I want to make sure somebody else didn't get my card and they spit out the $1,000 late. You follow me? So we put the machine about 5 minutes. So Val, she gets out to tell the lady behind us. She said, listen to me. She said, the car, you got to go around us because the machine ate our card. We're trying to get our card back, blah, blah, blah. So we get out, pull out. This is a true story, Mr. Delco, for all the folks. You got to hear this now. We're sitting there right in the parking lot. The lady pulls up behind. She says, look, guys, she says, I know you was trying to get some out of the machine, and says, and I feel so bad for what happened to you guys. She said, I don't have a lot of money, but I can give you guys $20. You think that'll help you? I looked at her. I looked at her. Well, that's so sweet of you. She said, no. She said, I ain't got no money. She said, but I know what it's like. We gotta help each other. She said, God told me we gotta help each other. She was in tears, man. She said, you might be trying to buy some milk or something for your family. I don't know what, and you might be, I got something for you. I had to give her my car, my care. I said, no, this was a divine appointment. See, everything Satan mean for bad, God mean for good. I said, and we sit there and talk, and I went in my pocket, right? I showed about $4,000 of cash. I said, I'm good. I said, we just playing around. She said, what? I was saying, since I was at the bank, I figured I'd just take another $1,000 off the card because only she took out so much all the time anyway. So she fell out. She started crying. She said, I told her about the opportunity. She said, I was looking for something. She said, I was praying to God for the last 2 weeks. God showed me something. I said, well, he's showing you. This is a divine appointment. See, everything, you got to see in every adversity, there's a seed of greater benefit. Folks, save a lot of gold, tell a lot of people, make a lot of money, dream big, don't let anybody steal your dream. And believe me when I say this, in every adversity lies a seed of equal greater benefit. Back to you, Mr. Dalco. Team Best, what do we say? I hope.
Man, thank you, Mr. Best. Outstanding comments from you, man. You could have talked the rest of the hour away on that. I'm telling you, we appreciate you so much, and Ms. Valerie Best, for the wisdom that you guys bring to this team each and every day. What fantastic stories. So thank you, Markel Dalco. Thank you, Mr. Time, Ms. Valerie Best, for what you brought into the call so far. So let's dive into it. We're going to get into the queue. You can raise your hand, or yep, the call is over, Ms. Lisa Gordon. It is over. You can raise your hand, or you can press, what is it, moderator? Is it star 9? Star 9. Thank you, Ms. Sherry Brown. Star 9.
And Mr. Michael Delco,
Yes,
before we go to
ahead.
the queue, oh my God, this is so amazing. First of all, let me give a shout out to Mark. Oh my God, the baddest drummer on this side of heaven. Look, Mark, you know I love you. You know I love you. But Mr. Dalco, that message, I've been listening and thinking the same thing. Why are people not talking about that message? They think the economy is just going to go back to normal. No, it's not. And, you know, as far as the restaurants, they were even saying how the lower end restaurants, within a week, they were wiped out. But your higher end restaurants, within 2 weeks, they have already been wiped out. And Mr. Best, you are so on point in regards to the banks, because the banks, it's called that personal relationship. If you had not had that personal relationship where you are actually supporting the banks, you can forget it. They are choosing who they are lending this money to, and they are keeping that in-house. And the nerve of them to say that the economy was good before the coronavirus. What a flat out lie. Oh my God. The economy was not good even before coronavirus. It has not been good ever since they've taken us off of the gold standard. And we at Wealth Builders have been telling you guys this for 6 years or more now. We have been preparing you for such a time as this. Because like this weekend, and I'll make it really short and I'm going to get out. My husband had to go to Target. And for those of you who know who Target is, he had to go up to Target to pick up a little item so that he can do some things that we were doing business-wise. Well, upon purchasing it, he realized that we had already had one. So he goes back in to get a refund. And they said, I'm sorry, but you cannot get your refund. He was like, I just bought it. Here's the receipt. We're not giving out refunds until after April 27th. They will take your money. I mean, I'm talking about that quick turnaround. They're going to take your money, but you're not getting it back. You better get in the Caribars and act like you know what we're doing here. Back to you.
Wow. Wow. Look, man. Whoa.
Mr. Delco.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss Sherry. This is Valerie Best. Thank you, Miss Sherry Brown, for saying that, because that's for real. I mean, They're not giving refunds. It's not the first time I've heard this story. Okay, so you got to think about what you're doing. It's like, wait a minute, you just bought it 5 minutes later, you can't get a refund. That's crazy talk. But this is how it's going. This is why we're telling you, educate yourself. Get into care by safe to go. And for some of those people, my husband's not in the car right now. We got family members that are buck wild crazy. I love them, but you know, family can be crazy. And I said, Tyrone, I don't know. Now, thank goodness, Mr. Deco, I'm so glad you put your son up there because I could hear the passion in his voice and the reality of saying, hey, where would I be if I wasn't in Care Bars? Okay, this is what Marquel, right? That's his name, Marquel?
Yes, Markel.
Yeah, Markel, I'm sorry, was saying. And it brought me to tears because I said, his family's involved, you know, and you know, I mean, you know, they're involved in the game. Okay, and they might not be as productive as maybe you and Mr. Bester or the Browns are, but they're in the game and they trying. They talking to their friends. They tried. That's why when a person asked them, "Are you still doing that Care Bus thing?" That was kind of, you know, I always feel that's condescending and dismissive when people ask those questions, and it is. Okay, and he was like, "Say yes, I am." Okay, yes, I am. And you know, he's coming from a different perspective because he said tough, bad things happened to him, and he's triumphing. So we got, you know, family members, and their heads are still, well, up where the sun don't shine, up there. Like go Tyrone, I don't know what it's going to take because with all this health stuff going on, and they've been sitting at home. I said, what are they doing? And my husband told me they're home watching the news, terrorizing themselves. We can't even come and see our mom. He goes to go see his mama, and they go, no, you know, just stay away. And I said, okay, this is crazy. You're acting crazy now. Okay, but they're terrorized. Stop watching the news. You turn the computer on. You get enough AOL. Get gold. Save money. Tell people because they are looking and not gonna get them jobs back. I'm sorry, interrupt. Go ahead. Go to the queue. I apologize.
I'm just loving this call today, and I think that our leaders are going to help us get through this queue quickly because all of the information that our senior partners and moderators have shared today is vital. These words are powerful. So let's jump into the queue. And what I need you guys to do, and listen to me clearly, because we have pushed the call halfway in. We do have a webinar coming up at noon, so I don't want to leave anybody out. So please, 10, 15 seconds, go really, really fast. If I applaud you, that means you went over the 15 seconds. But if you've got some questions or if you've got some celebrations for people on your team, please, at this time, we'll unmute you. Unmute yourself once your queue comes open. Miss Wanda Pinckney Lofton, good morning. You're the first one in queue. You have to unmute yourself, Miss Wanda. All right, I will come back to you. Next person in queue, SAS, your line is live. Your mic is unmuted. SAS, your line is live. Okay, we'll come back to you. Let me see if I can get back to you, Miss Wanda Pinckney Lofton. Here we come. Let's see. Okay, unmute yourself, Miss Wanda. It looks like you're there. All right, next person. Let's see, Minister of Fun, you are live.
Can you hear me, Mr. Dalco?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you, sir. To the fellow millionaires, thank you guys and everything we're doing. Just some news. Central bank digital currencies may arrive in less than 3 years. That's out there. Look it up. Take that paper, take your crypto, turn that into gold, tell as many people. I'm out.
Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Sharon. Ms. Ronald Vicks, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Delco. This is Sharon and Ronald Vicks. What an awesome call this morning. And your son's testimony is just amazing. And thank God for Carrot Bars. And I just want to congratulate one of my business partners, Cicely Williams, for getting her multi-pack. And I just want to say, Carrot Bars is the only thing. Everyone have a golden day.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Congratulations. And next leader in queue. Let's see, I see the number here. 601-896, your line is live.
Good morning, Mr. Delco. Glenn Perkins out of Jackson, Mississippi. This is good to be on the call. Great pre-call. Great story by the son. I had heard part of his story before. Man, great testimony. I wanted to just congratulate the people who advanced in rank on the team. Also, the one saving the goal and cash goal. Have a great day. Stay plugged in.
Thank you so much. Next leader in queue. Your line is live. Let's see. Oh, I already had that person. Okay. 202-39309. Your line is
Greetings. Greetings. Good morning, Wealth Builders family, the best in Delco households. This is Gina Askew calling from Washington, D.C., lending my voice to the call to say, Mr. Best, the reason that happened to you at your bank is because you didn't have a debt relationship with them. Same thing happened with me after 20 years, and that's what I was told. If we were doing what our government is doing right now in our basement, we'd go to jail for counterfeit. So what is in your wallet right now? And that's all I wanted to say. Get gold. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it so we can live life long and give $1 million a day. Continue blessings, Aou.
Aou, thank you so much for jumping in the queue. Next leader in queue. Let's see. Your line is live, U304A. Your line is live. Unmute yourself. You are live. Unmute yourself if you can. Okay, we'll come back to you. Thank you so much for jumping in the queue. Let's see, Galaxy A50, you are live. Unmute yourself. Okay, we're dropping the ball here. Mr. Danny James from Newfoundland, Canada, your line is live.
Hello, Mr. Delco.
Hello.
Amazing call again, brother. And your son's testimony, man, was beautiful. I did hear a little bit of it too before, and I just wanted to lend my voice to the call, man. And I'm out.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. James, for jumping in the queue with us today. And the next leader in queue, Mr. Fred Moore, you are live.
Good morning, Mr. Delco. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
All right. Good morning to all the wealth builders. Outstanding pre-call. Hey, just want to let everybody know, for those of you who are not familiar with Peter Schiff, this man is outstanding. He is the real deal when it comes to information, okay, about our monetary system. If I were you, if you don't know him, go to YouTube, okay, and listen to some of his interviews. Schiff, S-C-H-I-F-F, okay? If you're not familiar with him, go and check him out. Shout out to Markel Delco for an outstanding testimony. Young man, we are extremely proud of you. And this is just a testimony that, hey, you can do Care Bars no matter what you're going through in life. So that's all I want to say. Everybody have a good golden day. Back to you.
I agree with you on that, Mr. Moore. And I don't endorse a lot of people. I definitely endorse Peter Schiff. You know, one of the things he talks about, he's hard on government. And that's what I think what I have in common with him. The gentleman just does not play. He will let you have it. He doesn't care if it's Obama or Trump. He's bringing it straight to their face. He literally said on one of his podcasts, he voted for Donald Trump, but he does not play. He's not the guy that you can say he's fake news. You can't say that with him. He's reading the numbers. So I love that about Peter Schiff. Next leader in queue, Ms. Deion Stevens, your line is live.
Good morning, Coach. How are you today? Good to hear you.
Good morning.
I want to send a great congratulations to Stan Yancey for stacking a lot of cash gold over the weekend. Much respect to Mr. Best. And on behalf of my amazing husband, we love you and Lady Manisha so very much. Have a great golden day.
Well, we love you too. And congratulations on all your successes. And right down the street, can't see you.
I know.
Next leader in queue, let's see, 706, your line is live.
Great horizons, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, great, Mr. Delco, Dr. Michael Delco. You're awesome. Your son is just like you. You have the power. He has the power. It's the best. We all have the power. It's just how you're going to keep it, hold it, nurture it, and get you some gold. And that's what we do. We get gold and we run. I appreciate y'all so much. I do have 6 new affiliates. I'm waiting for them to do something, get packages or something. For the meantime, I'm going to the next person and go and go and go because we winners. I always love that.
Thank you so much, Miss Marie Stafford. Thank you for jumping in the queue. Next leader in queue, Your line is live, Mr. Shar. Let's see. Did I get you? David and Sharon Boykins. Shar, you're next. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Dalco. Sharon Boykin from
Good
New
morning.
Jersey. Just wanted to say awesome, phenomenal call, and really appreciated that testimony from Markel. I'm going to share it with my nephew, Markel. And I also just wanted to congratulate my niece, Cherie Andrews, for obtaining her multi-gold package the other night. And continue to plug in new affiliates, new business partners.
Congratulations on that multi-gold package. And next leading, you're up now.
It's the gold man, yeah, that's me. Ashar L out of Daytona Beach, Florida. The only thing I want to say, family, is Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution. I'm out. Grow your team and we will. Peace.
You said that, my brother. And, yeah, we need to put a beat to that gold man. That's a good tune right there, Ashar L. Put a beat to that thing, man. Next leader in queue, 202-669. Your line is live.
Good afternoon, Valerie Smith from out of Washington, D.C.
There she is.
Pretty cool. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ms. Smith. Go ahead.
What a great call. Awesome overview. And thanks everyone for all the congratulations. I appreciate it. It's a team effort. And Demi, awesome job last night on the training.
Yes,
and thanks to all our leaders, Michael Delco, Monisha Delco, Ty Best, Valerie Best, and all of our moderators. And also special shout out to my sponsor, my mother, Shirley Smith. And thank you, Johnny Price, for sharing this opportunity with us.
Thank you, Ms. Valerie Smith, and congrats again. Ms. Trina James, your line is live.
Good morning, Mr. Dalco. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Amazing. This is Trina and Bob James from Pontiac, Michigan. We just wanted to get on the line and congratulate on behalf of one of our newest affiliates, Jolita Burton. She's welcoming her daughter, Iman Burton. We met them at the African World Fest in August, and we just kept dripping on them, and now they finally are signing up and they're ready to save cash gold. So congratulations to them and welcome them to the family. Have an amazing day.
Congratulations to you and your team, and thank you for jumping in on the call. Next leader in queue, Mr. Mark Smith, you are live.
Good morning, Mr. Delco. Thank you. Fantastic testimony, Markel, and fantastic call. I would like to congratulate myself for sponsoring my 100th affiliate yesterday. Back to you.
That deserves an applause. Congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. Mark Smith. And next leader in queue, Ms. Tyson Thompson, you are live.
Thank you, Mr. Dalco, for letting me lend my voice to the call. I just want to let everyone know, continue to save gold every day. I thank you for your leadership, Mr. Dalco, because you've done nothing but teach me the right steps. Keep winning, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Tyson Thompson, for the compliment. I appreciate it. Mr. Lawful Money, Larry Wiggins Bay, good morning. Welcome to the call.
Hey, Great Risings family, Mr. Dalco, Mr. Best, whole Wealth Builders team. Look, y'all always say, like, you can't make this stuff up, right? Like, between your son's testimony and, like, if you didn't, that needs to be, everybody needs to share that with everybody, because you don't know who's going to hear what in that particular testimony, but, like, wow. Between that and what Mr. Best said, we know that facts don't move people. You know what I'm saying? Facts tell, but stories sell. What moves people is emotion. If y'all are not putting people on these power calls, you're doing way too much work. The reason why people don't know what's going on with their money is because of what Dwayne Taylor said, and we miss you, Coach, wherever you at. A lot of people spend their whole life chasing something they don't even understand. This whole wealth building system is about teaching people what to do with their money. Because if you don't know what real money is, you're going to work until you die. Family, grow your team and we will. Put people on these calls, promote these events, and go get some more gold. We out.
Great point there, Mr. Larry Wiggins Bay. Next leader in queue, 24 Karat Melody. Mrs.
Greetings, Mr. Delco.
Good morning, Ms. Scott.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Great to hear your voice. Great to be on the call. I'm going to take a quick second to say the nutrition for the mission was so delicious. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for your comments today. Next leader in queue, Mr. Roderick Joe. Your line is live. Mr. Roderick Joe, you may have to unmute yourself. All right, we'll come back to you, Mr. Joe. Mr. Leon Duncan, your line is live.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good morning, brother.
Perfect. Hey, I just wanted to say it's awesome day. It's awesome to be here. And I just wanted to give a big ups to all my Care Bars family, Wealth Builders family. Hey, you know, I left 2015 when Mr. Delco showed this to me. And 3 weeks ago, lightning just went off. The light went off. I called Mr. Delco, great leader, picked up the phone, said, hey, Mr. Duncan, come on, let's keep going. And I'm bringing some people in right now. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity for introducing it to me in 2015. And also I want to give a shout out to Daniel Williams. He picked up his bronze package. And I know he's going to be out there, set up his autosave. I know he's going to be out there doing some amazing things.
Congratulations to you, Mr.
One more thing,
Leon
Mr.
Duncan.
Duffo, I got to say, oh.
Yes. And let me tell you guys, Mr. Leon Duncan, when I tell y'all, when people say things like, it's not working for them and, they don't know what's wrong, they're doing something wrong, people are not getting this thing. When I tell you Leon Duncan is the consummate network marketing professional, I'm doing 1 or 2 three-way calls every single day. He edifies properly. He doesn't sit there and talk for 3 minutes. He just quick edification introduction, three-way call, get the questions answered, and he's on to the next one. This gentleman could teach a class on how to set up a three-way call, doing it picture perfect, and it's working. So congratulations to you, Mr. Duncan. Thank you for everything you do. Next leader in queue, it is 862.
Hello.
Good morning.
Mr. Daco, this is Evelyn from Newark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Miss Evelyn. Good morning.
Good morning. I just want to say that I'm so happy. When I lost my job in 2008, the Cabot Bars was not available, I believe, at that time. And so I didn't have a backup plan. But I'm so happy that we have Cabot Bars because now I have hope. I have an opportunity to help others. And all I can say is, ow! And thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting in the call today. Dr. Patrice Gordon, you are live. Dr. Patrice, there you are. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dalco. I'm telling you, hold on a second. So excited to be on the call today. Wow. From everything, from your amazing pre-call and also the overview that you did, Mr. Dalco, to the incredible testimony of your son, Markel. That really touched me and really blessed me because he has an incredible way to communicate to diverse generations. So listen, I agree with Brother Bay. That needs to be shared with everyone. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Best. Good morning. So shout out to the team, Lady Lisa and all Wealth Builders. Everybody have a golden week. Thank you so much, Mr. Dalco. Back to you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Patrice. Last call in the queue would have to be the last one. We got the 12 o'clock coming up. Brother Eric Trey Muhammad, you are live.
Ready for revolution. It's necessary. How you doing, Mr. Dalco?
Very good. Good morning.
Look, awesome overview and pre-call. I just really want to thank you and Brother Markel for sharing the truth and encouraging all of us to live within our truth. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Of course, Mr. Best and Mrs. Best, thank you so much. I just want to say, closing, that family, you will do yourself a disservice if you do not share this power call message. You have to share your power call. You have to share the 12 o'clock and the 9 o'clock sessions. You have to share. People are looking for us. People don't know we have the solution if we don't tell them. They can only be responsible for what they know, and it's our job to do it. Lastly, congrats to all those that advanced in rank. Of course, my brother Jamil Muhammad, as you mentioned earlier. But my wife also advanced, Sister Falami, my sponsor, and I advanced as well. So thank y'all so much. And let's just keep rocking. But share these calls. Thank you, Mr. Dalco.
Congrats on you and your wife reaching your rank advancements. That'll have to end the queue today. I hate leaving people in the queue, but you guys do understand this was an involved call today. A lot of information, a lot of inspiration and financial education. Coming up May 12th, what's the date? 16th. May 16th from 12 to 5. Save the date. Mark it on your calendar. We're going to be introducing to the Wealth Builders Worldwide team and everybody else who joins that event, Mr. Jorgen Pulvermuller, the Carrot Bars International Head of Global Sales. He'll be addressing the team. Mr. Ty and Mrs. Valerie Best will be our headlining speakers. And then we have a host of trainers. We're going to do a few of these this year, online boot camps. It's going to be amazing. Dr. David Hollins is going to be teaching about taxes and money management. We're going to have Al Murray teaching about how to launch your business properly. Nobody can do that better than him. One of the co-winners of the Big Boomer Award, Mr. Rodney Roach, will be teaching on goal setting and strategy for your business. I'll be teaching on cryptocurrency for dummies, and Ty and Val Best on how to dream bigger and teamwork makes the dream work. You can go to WBWEvents.com right now and grab those tickets before they sell out. Online event, just $30 for that event. There's also going to be a raffle. Every single attendee will be entered into the raffle automatically to win KMPO's phone, cash gold, and cash. So you don't want to miss this momentous event. Also, our first opportunity to high five each other. Maybe we'll high elbow each other. But it'll be the freedomsummit.live, thefreedomsummit.live. Go there, get your tickets for our live event. They're in the DMV. They've got something planned for you guys in the DMV. It's been an outstanding power call today. I want to kick this over to our senior partner. Before I do, let me say one quick thing. Go get cash gold. Ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Best talked about with the banks and so forth, we have an alternative money system with our Carrot Bars opportunity. When you get cash gold, not only can you get a business package and get in business for yourself and get the tax advantages and get extra gold added to your portfolio through your team getting their multi-gold packages, you also get paid in cash on a globally issued, privately issued MasterCard, okay, that I'm concerned about putting it in those bank ATMs. Maybe you just swipe it at a store and get your products, goods, and services, but it gives you a global MasterCard that you can transfer money between people. I send my kids money on their MasterCards all the time, but I also put it in that chip reader at Walmart and get my products, goods, and services. I can also use it to move money at gas stations at different places. So we're an alternative money system. Save cash gold every single chance you get. When there's an implosion of this dollar, and it will be, gold is still the prevailing money metal. I know people love silver. Silver's good, but gold is what countries use to settle debt. They don't use Bitcoin. They don't use silver. They don't use stocks and bonds, albeit they are good financial instruments. They use gold. When the banking systems around the world and the global elites, all right, when they store money, they store it in gold. There you go. Mr. Best, final words from you and Mrs. Valerie Best.
Ms. Best.
Hey, okay, this has been such a great enlightening call, and I definitely want to watch. I can't wait till that date because I need to know more because what that was a perfect cryptocurrency for dummies. I'm going. He must have did that just for me. So I'm gonna be on there paying attention.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Delco, for those. Let me reassure you, for those guests who come in for the first time, I have 5. My wife will have 5 Carrot Bars MasterCards, so all is good. And that's the only time I ever had any kind of challenge with a machine. I believe that's personal, so don't you get paranoid about it. That's personal. That's between me and Bank of America, because see, they know what's going on in my business. They know what's going on in Carrot Bars. And when you start reaching a certain level of affluence, folks, it draws the attention. So I'm just saying that's the next level problem. You don't have to worry about that right now. All the Carrot Bars cards are fine. I would still be cautious about what machines you put them in anyway. The second thing I want to say, I want to congrats Mr. Demi Sanya. I didn't say it last night, man. What an incredible training job you did.
Woo!
Thank everybody. Hey, look, Demi did a great job. I mean, incredible training job last night. Folks, here you go, Rockstar Info in 2 minutes. This thing is live. Promote today, pro 12 o'clock, promote 9 o'clock tonight. That's all you've got to do all day is drive people to these events, and you'll find yourself on the other side of money and have a next level problems in your bank too. God bless Team Best. What do we say? I hope.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a phenomenal call. Gold has went over a psychological barrier of 1,700 and sitting at 1,709. Aren't you feeling like a genius right now for saving gold regardless to the price? you got richer just holding God's money. So everybody have a phenomenal day. We're gonna stay on the screen here and flow right into the 12